Previously, Fate goes to their village to defeat the monsters, but the villagers humiliate Set for bringing back a useless man as a warrior with him. After some time, Set's daughter offers him a candy, which Fate eats and falls unconscious. Set knows that his father drugged the candy, but he can't wake up Fate. Meanwhile, monsters attack the village. Now, Fate remains unconscious under the effect of a strong sedative. The tribe's chief and Set's father did not want him to fight. They only wanted to present him in front of flying monsters as an offering. But Set tries to wake him up and makes medicine from herbs. In the meantime, the monsters attack many villagers and burn the houses. Fate regains his consciousness after receiving the medicine. Set apologizes, explaining that his father wanted to use him as bait. Fate sees that monsters are destroying the village and attacking people, so he asks Set to keep himself and his daughter inside the house. He then goes out with his sword to kill the monsters, who are constantly emitting fireballs while flying over their heads. Fate analyzes their skill level, which is 27. He cannot fight these monsters with greed, so he changes his sword to the Great Scythe. But as he hits them, a huge fire emerges and burns the area. At the same time, a few flying ephemeral monsters accumulate and create a blanket of fire that transforms into a massive fireball to attack Fate. At the same time, using his magical powers, he throws a flash through the scythe towards the monsters. It kills all of them except their leader. Now, a skill has been added to Fate's stats, and those are the Fireball skill and the Fire Resistance skill. To kill the leader, Fate waits until it gets closer and attacks at once with his scythe. He kills the leader, which activates his Gluttony skill. The next morning, Set tells him that, along with many villagers, his dad also died last night. They stand on the burned houses with many villagers and feel sad that all the land has become useless. The burned land won't be fertile enough to grow crops. Set wants to know why Fate is hiding his identity while he can earn a living with his skill. But Fate can't share anything about Gluttony. Now, Set tells him that he will leave the town to find a job, as he wants to give his daughter a good life. Sometime later, Set requests Fate to slap him because he is so embarrassed by his previous behavior. At first, Fate hesitates, but when greed urges him to do what Set wants because it will reduce his guilt, he punches him in the face so hard that he falls down. Soon after that, both friends go on different paths. Then Fate goes to his father's grave and tells him that he has become strong now, that cruel village can't harm him anymore. On the other hand, Lady Roxy and other holy knights reach Lanchester territory. Mugen tells her to stay cautious when passing through this town. At the same time, a guy pays Fate to guard him while they pass through Lanchester. He feels sleepy, but the man driving the carriage asks him to stay vigilant. Suddenly, a few men stop in front of him and ask him to give them what he has. The carriage man gets so terrified and pleads with him to save him. Fate begins thinking of a way to fight with so many warriors. At the same time, a girl threw her axe in the air, which throws all the warriors away in a moment. It's the same girl that Fate met in the Hart family's vineyards. She carries a heavy axe, and the carriage driver invites him to come with them as she saved them. The carriage could not bear the weight of the axe, so she changed it to its normal weight. On their way, she tells them that her name is Mine, and she knows that Fate has the Gluttony skill. She also has one of those skills. It's a strange discovery for her that greed has not told him anything about her. She is the carrier of wrath, which is one of the deadly sins. Suddenly, Fate feels that she is hungry and offers her food. She eats all his food and gives the empty pouch back. In the land of Lanchester, a girl screams as she sees a few ghosts in the street. Suddenly, a holy knight appears and dispels the ghosts. That impresses the girl, and she wants to know who he is. He says that he is Rudolph, the lord of the town, and throws flowers towards the girls. Fate sees this and is surprised that the holy knights in this town are nice to people. The carriage man tells him that Rudolph probably wants to impress Miss Roxy of Galia. She is arriving soon, and they pass by them on their way. Fate is so disappointed to know that he missed the chance to meet her. Then, the carriage man gives him 3 gold coins, as promised. Suddenly, Mine snatches all the coins, saying that she was the one who saved them from thieves along the way. She falls asleep on Fate's shoulder, so he carries her on his shoulder. Suddenly, 2 guys welcome him and share the welcome message from Rudolph. As they pass by him, he notices that the guys have a strange logo on the back of their necks. As he walks ahead, 2 guards ask him to stop, as outsiders are not allowed to walk beyond this line. Fate sees that the guards have different logos on their necks. He sees that other people have slightly different logos. He is curious why these people have logos. On the other hand, the thieves who attacked Fate on his way were sent by Rudolph. He wanted to show his superiority to Hart's family, but the guys failed in the mission. So Rudolph gets so angry at them that he slices the leader of the thieves. Then he heads towards another man who ran away when monsters attacked them. He slices him too, and after that, he leaves from there. The terrified guards discuss that Sir Rudolph is becoming worse each day. At the same time, Fate puts Mine in bed and wonders when she will wake up. He asks Greed about how she knows him. Greed only tells him that she owns a similar weapon, Sloth. Sloth is a weapon just like greed. Each person carrying the skill of a deadly sin has such a weapon. Watching his curiosity, Greed thinks that it's time for Fate to know everything about deadly sins. Gluttony, greed, wrath, sloth, lust, envy, and pride are deadly sins. All of these carry a particular weapon. Among these skills that defy nature's law, gluttony is the deadliest of all. Particularly when a man acquires gluttony skills by killing souls, there is no going back. Fate thinks that is why he has this brutal skill where he cannot avoid killing for the rest of his life. He was a weak boy, mocked by all, but now he has to pay the price for his power by killing. He gets so angry, but Greed warns him to change his attitude. There is only one way to avoid killing. He must make his mind strong to keep it at a starvation level. Fate agrees and comes outside. Suddenly, a monster comes out from the sand. Greed reminds him that they have to master the skill of killing slowly, so they test the technique by throwing fireballs. It takes one sand golem, but immediately after that, a few more sand golems appear. On the other hand, Mine wakes up and feels hungry. She gets something to eat from the streets and hears a man saying that Rudolph cannot kill sand golems. He seems terrified as they are dangerous. While killing the golems using fireballs did not satisfy Fate's gluttony skill, he feels hungrier and smells like there is some beast hiding. Greed tells him that finally the time will come for him to activate his gluttony skill. Next up, he has to kill the monster sand golem. The other warriors warn him that he cannot kill this beast alone, but he warns them to stay away. The sand golem throws fire at him, but Fate is so eager to fill his gluttony that he changes the greed to scythe and throws a flash that cuts the sand golem. But Greed asks him to follow the sand golem's core before it disappears. To chase him in time and cut it through, Fate offers 10% of his stats, but Greed agrees on 20%. A flash emerges and follows that sand golem. It tears through its body with a huge blast. With that, Fate's gluttony skills get activated, and he gets another skill, the sandstorm skill. The warriors are truly impressed with him and appreciate his skills. One of them introduces himself as Bard, but Fate does not tell them his real name. He says that he is Corpse. They are surprised to see an old-looking sword as his weapon. But Greed is pretty sure that he doesn't need any weapon because each time he defeats an enemy, he gets their skill and adds more stats. Afterward, he goes back to the room. Mine prepares to go hunt the sand golem, but Fate says he already took it down. After hearing this, she becomes furious. Fate tells her that she can take half of the reward. Fate and Mine reach out to collect the reward, which is 100 gold coins for defeating the sand golem. Suddenly, Rudolph arrives there with his men. He tells Fate that he will work for him. All his guards surround him, and Rudolph shouts that he cannot refuse to obey him. But Mine comes ahead and throws Rudolph out of the window, telling him that she already owns him. They immediately get out with the rewards and ride in the same carriage to leave the town. And that's the end of the 6th episode of Berserk of Gluttony. Please comment and let me know which anime recap you'd like to see next. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, goodbye.